Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica.
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young. And we are here to rant and rave.
I feel like that's perfect, but when I listened to our last episode and I was like, perfect, we were so off.
You know, I'm telling you, it's because we don't have the in-person energy where we could just feel the harmony in unison.
I guess so. And
for being
honestly,
synchronized, I'm saying. I don't mean that I can't feel you I get to luckily also get to see you, even though we're live on video for each other, not to our listeners.
Well,
Thank God. Thank God you guys can't see us. Okay.
Oh, Lordy. Look at me today. I mean, I don't know what that crazy ponytail is. Half of it's up and half of it's sagging down like old lady boobies.
I love that you and I have known each other long enough and are way more than comfortable enough to be like, I don't care. We don't try to put on airs. We're not like, we're going to record. I better put on a pussy bow blouse and do my makeup.
No, I do try to make sure that I have eyebrows on for you. That's only because I look like an alien without them. However, I think it shows that I trust you and am comfortable with you because I literally talked out a map of my pimples to you in the green room though. I just took you on a tour of every pimple on my face. I don't know why I thought you needed to know that. I'm like, hey, Jessica, let's catch up. Here's a pimple. Here's a...
Oh my God. Do you know what it makes me think of? Did you ever have that book as a kid? What's Happening to Me? It was a book about puberty. I think it came out in either the late 70s or early 80s.
No, ma'am, I did not. That doesn't seem like something my mom would have wanted to go through.
I realized as saying that your mom would not approve. The other one is called Where Did I Come From?
No, my mom's up in heaven right now going, no.
I'm sorry, Diana. I really am. But I'm telling you, it makes me think of the page where kids talk about acne and stuff. And I still picture it to this day when I have bad acne, which you and I have said came back a lot with our maskne.
Uh-huh.
They show it as like little oil rigs on the face.
Ew.
Like everything they made, like, you know, it was like a caricature. It wasn't drawn with real pictures. It would be like a cartoon of a lady with boobs, right? Or
well, what were her boobs made out of?
Boobs.
They didn't have any oil rigs. They didn't have any milk jars for boobies.
Y'all, if any of you, I swear to God, someone is gonna, I know it. Someone is at least one person, if not 20, are gonna write in and said, I had both of these books.
Had that book.
And one of you, I'm just feeling it in my bones. One of you still has it. You gave it to your children who have no interest in it in this day and age. Kids learn very differently. But one of you has it, and you're going to at least do us the favor of sending the cover, if not a few choice pages. Hopefully that oil rig acne one.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
I am put out an APB for What's Happening to Me and Where Did I Come From? Because I need Dana to see it.
That's crazy to me. Although I am that person, I'm sorry. I really do apologize. I watch Dr. Pimple Popper constantly.
Nope.
I cannot get enough.
I've never seen it, and I don't think I can handle it.
I want to see what kind of crazy stuff comes out of people.
No.
It's insane to me.
No.
Now, the only thing that does...
You never get squeamish?
No. Maybe it's because of how she handles it, because people will be like, oh my God, does it stink? I'm so sorry. And she's like, well, I'm not sniffing it.
Yeah, but don't you breathe?
Well, she breathes out her mouth. But the things that I'm like, nope, couldn't do it, is when she'll pop something, because you never know what it is. You got to pop it to figure out what it is usually. I mean, she can tell, she's
Dear
been doing it.
God.
But anyway, when something pops and she's like, yeah, I should have wore a splash mask. I'm like, yeah, you should have. What profession are you in?
Why is that even up for discussion?
Just debate. I mean, I'd have that
She's
thing
not
on.
wearing that at all times
No,
when
ma'am.
actively working on the patient.
Not always. Because sometimes they just kind of
Nope.
out into a little tray.
Nope. Wouldn't
Just,
take the chance.
I wouldn't either, especially it's somebody else's pimple junk.
Even if it looked minuscule, where you thought, oh, it'll literally just be nothing like a pinhead. Nope.
Yeah, no, because they'll trick you. They're tricky. Those are tricky little things. That's how she gets caught. She's like, I didn't think it was going to do that. We'll stop thinking and just protect.
I cannot believe that you, of all people I know, that you are not so revolted by it.
No, you know me, Jessica. I follow coroners.
Yeah, you like horror, and you like
I follow
horror
medical
too.
talks, and I like horror. Yeah.
How did I forget that? All right. Yes.
I mean, I just saw a post yesterday or the day before. I don't know. I've had cramps bad, so I lost a day somewhere.
I hear
that. But anyway, I just saw a man that his entire hand was submerged in hot melted tar. And they said usually those kinds of accidents are usually like tripping or spilling or whatever. And it's hard to separate from the skin. It sticks to the skin. So.
Oh, dear God.
Anyway, I don't know how I got off on that from pimple popping, but but the way I got to Dr. Pimple Popper is before her, there was this big surge of those, what do you call them, cysts, that people started operating on themselves all the time, where they would just like have their friends stick an X-Acto knife in there and squeeze it with their bare ungloved fingers.
What?
Yes, because there are these types of cysts that create pockets and there's a sac inside. And if you don't remove the sac, it just keeps filling. This is so gross. You're like drooling right now because you might puke.
That's what I have.
Oh, yes. That fascinates me. I'm sure I wouldn't if it was
Maybe you could come to my next appointment, since now I have to take it to the next level, I was told.
Oh, my
I've
God.
tried 3 times. So
I
have to go to a different surgical center.
I think you need to go to Dr. Pimple Popper.
Okay. And then I'll have her set up you, and we'll pick 3 lucky listeners, and you guys can be in the galley like in movies in the 80s.
There's
like
no galley. She lets you in the room.
And you'll be looking down at what's going on.
She even says sometimes, do you want to come over here and take a look? Is your daughter really into that? Yeah.
You know,
she sounds nothing like that impression I just did, by the way. I don't know why I did that voice. She has such a lovely voice that I'm like, you want to come over here?
I love it.
Anyway, we should get off of that because it's gross and people are going to be like, Dana, shut up.
Oh, dear God.
So I had cramps yesterday. How was your week, Jessica?
Oh, my gosh. You know, it was jam-packed. I'm tired.
You're busy. Yeah.
I am very tired. This is just one of those weird months.
To you at all.
You barely did, because I really didn't talk to anyone. And I mean, including my parents. I feel very bad for them. My dad even just texted me today. He's like, I haven't heard from you in several days. And I, like a quick message. But anyways, why am I going on this diatribe? It's not important. Yeah, this is just one of those crazy months. I'm glad I have a lot going on, but it all just kind of poured into my lap.
At once.
At once. I told you, I don't know why Murphy's Law loves to bite me in the ass, but I'm like begging for anything. And then boom, here you go. 3 weeks time. It's all falling in your lap. Right. Why is that happening to us?
I don't know. It happened to me last week, all on one day. I had I hadn't had any work stuff for a long time. And then all in one day, I had 3 things that were due immediately. Like,
yes.
It just was like, what?
And that's the thing. It is due immediately. And no, you don't have a day to think about it. Forget about a week. You better drop what you're doing and get it together and get this done right now.
Yeah. And jerk your brain into workability from wherever it was, because I cannot. I
And put on makeup and get dressed nicely.
Yes, ma'am. And for me, that started at 5:30 in the morning because I needed my husband's help and he had to leave for work. But it's just like even simple things. We've talked about this right now.
Mhm.
I feel stupid getting a planner because I wouldn't have enough things to put into it. But then when I do have things, I can't. I
I
texted
know.
my friend Kira today and was freaking out, going, "Oh my God, did I sleep through your birthday? Like, was I had cramps yesterday and I didn't think it was your birthday." She's like, "No, it's today." I'm like, "Oh, happy birthday." But anyone who knows me knows that I am the worst with birthdays. It doesn't matter if I write them down. It doesn't matter if I put them in my phone. I have missed
I am
every
too.
every person I love. I have missed at least one birthday.
I always tell people because they're like, I'm so sorry, or whenever it's brought up about birthdays, because I think most people don't remember. The only reason people know my birthday, those that do, is because it's on a holiday. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
Like, you remember if a friend is born on Christmas, and believe it or not, I know 4 friends that were born on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve.
Steve, yeah.
I'm born on 4th of July, right?
Yeah.
Alan's brother and was born on Valentine's Day, and one of our nieces. I
Oh,
remember because they're
wow.
holidays. That's
Right,
it.
right.
I don't know
I
anyone
miss
else's birthday.
I wished my grandma happy birthday on August 4th for years. And then I found out, no, it's the 3rd.
That's my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandmama and Mr. Young in
Wait, they have the
August.
same birthday? That makes me really happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very special. My
I
dad will think
know.
that's very neat indeed.
It is. And my mama's birthday was August 20th. August was a big month for
Oh.
me. And then mine is September 1st. They all kind of went boom,
Mhm.
boom, boom.
Nothing
What
exciting
else?
for me. What about you?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get all of my little planties ready. I'm going
Good
to
deal.
take a trip home and I have a house sitter. I'm getting everything I actually have 2 people that are going to be like checking in, one person
Mhm.
staying, one person checking in. So it's not all on one, so one person's living here and one person's supplemental
Nice.
help. But I'm steeling myself to probably lose a couple babies, but I'm preparing as best as possible.
Yes.
I've also put myself on a no new plants before I leave because they'll need to adjust and learn their mommy. And if their mommy's not here, they can't learn.
That's
So
true.
I believe that I will be putting all of my plants together in my child's room and closing the door so no cat chomps.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Ollie loves to eat some of your bigger
if I
plants.
don't watch Ollie, he'll chomp on a
Why
leaf.
does he? I wonder.
I don't know.
I
I
think
mean,
it's just to be defiant. He's like,
I
I'm going to
kind of
eat
think so
this.
too, because the one time I caught him doing it, he looked at me like, "You're stupid. Get out of my face." It's a plant, mom. And I was nervous. I was like, "Are you going to get sick?" And I will say he hasn't really chomped like that any leaf
Right.
since then, and I think it probably upset his tummy. I'm sure he was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that was horrible." So he doesn't bother him too much anymore. But I just want to make sure because I don't want them to do that and then get sicky and I'm not here.
Yes. Or Cutter. I picture like a cartoon poking one little claw and
Claw
like
into the
just
leaves.
no, or just tapping a pot so that it goes psh and like
Oh my
smashes on the
God.
ground.
Yeah. Well, and also she's the pooper. You know how
Mm,
they say ZZ plants are like the plant that's most impossible to kill?
mhm.
That's one of the first plants I ever tried to put in my house years and years ago. And she and I had a war. She kept pooping and peeing in the pot. So then I lifted it up. She can jump. I don't know why I thought she couldn't. She kept pooping and peeing in it. I put paper over it. She pooped and peed through the paper. I put pantyhose on it. She just sat on the pantyhose and pooped and peed through that.
Oh,
She murdered that plant.
God.
She murdered it. She's a murderer.
That Cutter.
And I never tried to get another plant after that because I was like, well,
Cutter.
she's gonna, yes. So now she doesn't seem to bother him because she'd rather hate Ollie than poop or pee in a plant. But
Oh.
is this interesting? So So far, I've told you guys that my face is broke out, I'm on my period, and my cat poops and pees in my plants. So I'm not sure why anyone is listening.
Real talk.
Real talk with Dana and mortified Jessica.
No.
All right. Well, I don't really have anything to report, obviously.
You'll have fun stories after you go to Silver Dollar City, hopefully.
I wish.
somewhere.
It's expensive. Silver Dollar City is
I'm
expensive.
sure.
But it is cool. And I also still have like scars because they didn't want to hire me because I wasn't talented enough to act at Silver Dollar City.
Stop it. We've all had at least one job that we wanted, especially if you're younger and you don't really realize how it all works, or you think,
Right.
I turned in a resume. I have neat handwriting. Why didn't they hire me?
I couldn't get a job to save my life, and I had a college degree. But I think it's because I wasn't supposed to be there. I was supposed to leave.
Yes.
Anyway.
Totally.
All right. Should we get into our rants?
Sure.
Okay.
So this came to the forefront because I keep thinking, I try, and especially over the last year, I think it taught all of us patience. You may have already been a patient person. If you weren't, you better have buckled up and tried to have some semblance of patience in certain situations, right?
Mhm.
Also, there's a lot of things where I'm like, okay, I understand, or they need to know this, even though it seems redundant, whatever. My rant today is, and it just specifically dealt with the doctor's office, but this could be with any account or thing that you have. With doctors, it's always dealing with insurance and things like that. But I had been called by a nurse and asked to please upload or to email them my current information. And I'm like, okay, you have my current information. Literally nothing's changed. I haven't moved in 15 years. I have the same insurance that I've had since I was there a few months ago. She's like, we need it. And I'm like, okay. So two things that I am irritated by. One, I'm starting to learn the importance, and I learned this from my accountant, of like sending certain information in an encrypted file. And that's like so over my head still, even though
Yeah,
I
I
had to
don't
do
know how
that
to do
sometimes for
that.
work, or just in some kind of more secure way, right? Instead of just, I'm
Okay.
going to send you my driver's license and my
Right.
insurance card, right?
Mhm.
Anyways, I sent it to them. They confirmed it, said thanks so much. And then when I went in for the appointment, the woman asked for it again and to make a copy of it. And so that kind of stuff now is really irritating to me because there's so much fraud. There's so much crap that
Mhm.
goes on with people's name and address and all that circulating. I also recently had to send stuff with my social security number and my address.
Mhm.
That's basically all people need in a lot of
Yes.
cases to do a lot of damage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to cause a scene, but I was like really dug in and said, again, I was asked to send this. I emailed it. Here's your coworker I emailed it to. Here's the confirmation. No, I'm not giving it to you. And I refused to give her my driver's license and my insurance card for her
Mhm.
to photocopy it. I refused. You made me send it by email. You have all of that info. And if you don't, what happened to it?
Right.
So I refused to do it. It's such
And
a
what'd she say?
stupid. She kept trying to press it, and I just said, I'm not doing it. I said, you can ask Blanca. And
They do over ask for things constantly. And I understand. But the thing
it's
that makes me so
ridiculous.
mad with medical stuff specifically is they'll ask you that stuff over and over and over again. And then if you
Yes,
try to get any information from them, they give you nothing.
correct.
They just pass you off to someone else or say, well, I don't have the answer to that. Okay,
Yep.
well, find it.
Yep.
Like you're asking me for crap all the time, over
I
and
know.
over and over. And I believe they don't even look to see if they have it. They just want you to give it to them because that's their procedure. And that way they don't have to go back and say, well, we don't have it. But eventually, when they do have to go back and look for it, you know what they say? We
Mhm.
don't have it. They never have anything. Where does
I
it all, whose butt is
know.
sucking it?
Also, remember, even let me tell you something, not until not that long ago, I think I had to switch doctors 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, he still had, even though there was some computerized stuff, he had old school charts. My chart was ginormous. It was just he was my GP and he referred me. So he also very diligently kept records from anyone else I went to. But he had the wall of charts, right?
Mhm.
Now at my doctor's office, there's 4 doctors in the practice. I don't see any chart. But also to their credit, when you go in, there's a computer monitor and he opens it up and can see your basics and then also see all of the medications you're up with it. Cause I'm like, do you need to know that? And he's like, no, he goes,
He's
I'm
like,
the
"No, I
one.
just need your address and social security number."
That's what I mean. It's like every time I go there, they ask me for that. But I'm like, but why don't you have the results of the tests that you guys sent out for me? Cool. Okay. Like it's just
Uh-huh.
annoying. It's all annoying. And I'm really irritated by it. And I'm really trying to put my foot down a little bit more instead of just being like, okay.
Yes. Well, specifically in medical situations, I think you have to. And that's just because
Yes.
my mom was so sick and my dad's been, had 2 heart surgeries and cancer and stuff. So it's like we've dealt with a lot, especially Tiffy. And I'll tell you, my baby
Yes.
sister, because she's around and she has gotten to the point where she's like, no, this is what I'm asking for and this is what we need. But you also have to be careful because she would get nervous that they would be mean to my mama.
Of
And that
course.
did happen a couple of times
Yeah.
because when nobody else was around, my mama couldn't protect herself. And
Sure.
those people could be like, well, sorry, you're having an issue. Good night.
Uh-huh.
And there's no one there to go, wait a minute. And I
Exactly.
experienced that myself in the hospital. I had a bunch of surgeries because of my arm, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't have family out here. So if I didn't
Yeah.
have a friend with me or Dan Tipton was working, I was alone. And there were several times where I experienced what I would say was abuse,
Yes. They
and
can be
so
ah,
mean, so callous.
so mean and so rude. And also then it's so like triggering or traumatizing that then your brain kind of stops being fully aware. Or again, it's like hindsight's always 2020, right? Or if I was with
Oh,
you and I heard that, I'd be like, hey, wait a minute, you don't talk to her like that. But
oh
when
my
it's
God.
happening to
Yeah.
you, you're like a deer in
You're,
headlights. It's
yes.
overwhelming.
Yeah, my mom, this woman at a facility, embarrassed my mother in front of the entire cafeteria by screaming out loud because my mom had to go potty. Well, then
Yeah.
maybe you need to learn how to go by yourself. She did go by herself. She happened to be in a wheelchair at the time. Like, that's just
Oh
uncalled.
boy.
And everyone, this woman was like, my mom was having to explain her situation in front of
Mhm.
every
Mhm.
patient in that facility. And of course, we went in and we're like, no. And unfortunately, that woman had several complaints and she lost her job. But it shouldn't have to get to that.
Of course not.
It's just scary. And then, but I think I've mentioned this before. You know me and how I'm super into like self-help and positivity unless it's
Mhm.
toxic. So there was a point in time. Now, I was not like a huge follower of this person, but I did like
Mhm.
some of his ideas. I do think he was crazy, whatever. That's just my opinion. But Wayne Dyer, they called him
Mhm.
Dr. Wayne Dyer. He had wrote a bunch of
Rings a
books.
bell, yes.
Yeah. So one of his books that I wrote was Learning How Not to Be a Victim. That's not the exact title. I can't remember it, but anyway, it was about that. And one
Mhm.
of the things he specifically talked about, and I've mentioned it before, but I'll just remind everyone, is your doctor is no different than you. They just had a little more schooling, right? But there's also always the doctor that was the average student. You
Mhm.
don't have to be intimidated by them. They are there to service your health care.
Right.
And he actually recommended for your own mental stability, not calling your doctor Dr. So or Dr. So and so. Sorry,
Mhm.
my doctor's name was Dr. So. And I realized that didn't work with my so and so comment.
Yes, it does. That's amazing. Doctor so and so.
Anyway, he said call them by their first name because that sets up an equality between you
Mhm.
instead of you're my doctor and I call you doctor and there's a power thing there. And
Bruce, how are
mentally,
you today?
yes, he said mentally that helps you go, hey, you're here to help me out.
Mhm.
You're not the boss of me. You're here
Mhm.
to help me manage my health care. kind of
Right.
like an agent. Like I started trying to think of doctors that way. Like,
That's interesting.
I'm paying you. You work for me. So
Yeah.
you respect me and I'll respect you. I mean, I think that mentality can be very important. Now, you can say what you mean and mean what you say, but don't say it mean.
Yes.
But it's okay to speak up.
Yes.
So I'm proud of you for that. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
they
I
ask
was
you
more
one
direct.
more time where you live, you tell them, I don't live anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I don't live anywhere. Oh my God.
Or give them the address of the Capitol building. I don't know. The
boy.
Capitol Records building. Anyway, it's just a good reminder for us, I think.
Totally.
Yeah. Oy, oy, oy. All right.
Rant over.
I actually took a big breath. It's not even our cleansing breath time. Did you hear me go? Okay. All right. Well, here, I'll move on to mine. We've discussed people commenting on your food choices. This is not a new idea. What you eat, when you eat it, how much you eat it. But right now, we're going to talk about people commenting on you being hungry when they aren't. Okay, good for you. You feel full from breakfast? Well, I'm not. We ate hours ago and I'm hungry. I don't need you monitoring or your comments like you're hungry. We just ate a few hours ago. Do you know what I mean about that?
Yeah.
Or they're like, oh, I'm hungry. And they're like, what? We just ate.
The what? The absolute shock and disdain that it's also the same. I have the same amount of anger, believe it or not, about this as people who get angry if you think it's cold and they don't, or you think it's hot and they don't, or vice versa.
Yeah. And it's
mind your own business.
I'm sweating. What do you mean you're cold? Okay, well, your body's broken, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, it is that thing of like, what? You're hungry? We just ate donut holes. Okay, well, that's not a meal.
Yes.
Now, Jessica, I will say.
That's a breakfast appetizer.
Thank you. I will say. I'm sorry,
amused Buche.
An amused bush? What are you talking about?
Amuse Buche.
I don't know.
You don't know what an amuse bouche is?
Is that French?
Oh my God.
Canada.
Wait until Jen Hall Hill draws Dana and an amuse bouche.
I don't know what an amused bush is.
Oh my God, Dana. Okay, amuse bouche.
Is it Canadian? Is it French?
No, it's French. I'm going to read you the difference between an amuse bouche and an hors d'oeuvre.
Stop it. It's not an hors d'oeuvre. Stop with your mouth.
I'm literally about to pee in my pants.
No.
An hors d'oeuvre is something served before meal. It might be, and that is the grammar, it says before meal. It might be a bite or two, and it might be passed around instead of on the table. An amuse bouche is just something to keep you from starving at the table, and as the title implies, amuse you. And bouche means mouth in French.
So,
to amuse
mouth.
your mouth.
It's a funny mouth. Hey, poo-poo. Hey, poo-poo. Funny mouth. Yum, yum.
Oh, my God.
Amused bush. I don't need. That's just.
Bush.
But you know what? I might adopt it because I am a grazer. So that way I have a title for all my snacking.
Yes. The night we had donut holes, yes, we had an amuse bouche. And now I'm ready. Now I'm ready for the entree.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? What do you mean you had a microwave pizza? That was my amused bush. And then when I finished the other one, that was my order.
Oh my God. Somebody get this woman on Jeopardy for both her knowledge and vocabulary and pronunciation.
Yeah, because I answer even if I don't know things, just in case I miraculously get right.
Oh my God, me too. I'll just shriek out something.
An answer. Yeah, me too. I don't want to waste. You got one shot.
Yes.
That's what Eminem said. Get something out there.
By the way, I would be awful on Jeopardy.
I would be the worst. And then what's so bad about it is I would literally laugh at my own stupidity. It
Yeah.
would make me laugh so hard. And people would like, it's not, they would be like, it's not funny that you're that stupid, you woman. Although, our friend Gareth Reynolds.
Yes.
Okay, so he's one of the co-hosts of The Dollop, and Jessica and I have known him for years and years. He's one of our faves. He's so funny and such a doll. But anyway, he's a stand-up and he did this bit. I watch all of his stuff on Instagram.
Uh-huh.
He makes me giggle. He did this bit. Wait, my build up to my story made me forget because I'm old. What were we just talking about?
About Gareth and about a bit
Yeah,
that he did.
right. But what was the bit connected to? What were we talking about
See,
right
that's
before?
where my short-term memory is non-existent.
Bad. This is like old
Yeah.
lady stuff that's
No,
happening to me.
I'm
What
gonna
were we
talk.
talking about before I started describing how adorable Gareth was?
Oh, about Amuse Bouche, about or Div, about Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. That's it. He
Mhm.
said, and it made me laugh so hard. He was doing a bit about Jeopardy and how he went through a phase that he was watching it all the time. And he said, when Alex asks the contestants about their lives, he goes, is that the most boring 3 minutes of television you've ever seen in your life? Like they're asking for that one important story, and somebody's like, well, in 1969, I started working at the aluminum foil factory, and I say aluminum, and my coworker says aluminium. So that wasn't the story he used, but
That's
that's my version.
perfect.
But it's like that's the most exciting thing you've ever experienced.
That is perfect. And I love that you're bringing this up. This is also just totally kismet, and I love that. And that happens so many times between us. So, as it happens, this weekend, Gareth put something up from a listener of his podcast, and my comment was just, ha, and then a coffin because I was dead. One of his listeners wrote this in and he reposted it and said, so you're funny and all. I appreciate your humor and love the dollop. Has anyone ever asked you to rein it in on the diatribes? It gets a little much, like fish on their never ending riffs. You enjoy it to begin with, but
I know.
ellipsis.
I saw that too. And I'm like, wait, you were writing in to tell him how much you love him, but also how bad he is at what he does.
I mean, love you, but rein it in.
But I don't even think people realize anymore because of the evil internet what they're doing.
I
It's like we've talked
know.
about people before saying like, I love your show. It is so funny. But
But
sometimes the volume's a little different. 2 stars. That hurts us. Like, I'm sorry if the volume isn't exactly how you want it all
for
the
your
time for your free
free
podcast
entertainment.
that we put hours of work into and you don't.
Yes, yes.
But thank you for helping it make it harder for people to find us so we can afford to actually have good sound. Thank you. I don't think people who don't do podcasting and internet stuff regularly don't realize, even they're so sick of hearing us say it ad nauseum, like, please subscribe, please review, rate, review. I don't think they realize that stuff
Right.
massively impacts how people
Major.
find you and if you can sustain an audience.
Yes.
And I think we've proven you can exist without an audience, but you're not going to make any money.
You know what? Thank God we have people who write into us enough so that we know it's even more than one. It's not as dire as Julie and Julia. I hated that movie, by the way, but you know what I mean. She started doing her recipes thinking no one was watching, and then, oh my God. But seriously, like, thank you to those who have ever contacted us in any way, or including to those who contact us on a regular basis, because
Well,
we
those
love
people
you
are
all.
just our friends now
Yes,
at this point.
yes.
I mean, we have listeners that I'm like, oh, I know they work a night shift. I'm going to send them something.
Yes.
Our friend Our friend, I always get nervous about saying people's names on
I don't think you have to. We're not giving their
I'll
address and
just say,
social security.
well, that's true, but I am going to ask them for it later. But no, one of our friends, Danielle, she
Who
works
made
over.
us the magical magnet characters of us.
Yes, yes. I talk to her all the time because I was like, "Oh, she's a vampire like me." And I know she lives
Yes.
on the East Coast, so I was like, "She is like me." No, she just
Yes.
works at night, so it's easier for her. She's awake at night. So anyway, we send each other stuff and laugh all the time.
I
So I
love it.
feel like our listeners, like those who are engaged with us, like they're
Yes.
just our friends. We kind of
Absolutely.
we just you guys, I feel like we're a bit of a VIP club.
Yeah.
We're very important people.
A free version of like the Soho House or
Oh my
something.
god, or what's that women's one? What's that weird women's one out here?
Ooh, I'd rather
You know
not say.
oh, 'cause
I
we
get
have
so scared about everything. My friend, a mutual friend of ours, has been texting me lately. She's like
You gotta go there?
catching up on so many podcasts, and she goes, I love how you never, and she was making fun of me for it. She goes, I love how you never name people or never say the business, whether you love it or you hate it. She goes, why are you being so secretive? And I was like, oh, I don't
I'll
know.
tell you why we're being secretive, because, now I'm the one who's scared to say something.
See?
Remember, I think we've talked
I'm
about it
scared
before.
that a cult is going to come
Uh-huh,
after us.
uh-huh. So remember the, shiny, sparkly celebrity cult that everybody's afraid of?
Yeah.
I'm gonna abbreviate it, sci-ties.
Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Uh-huh.
Remember? We've both said "member" today. I'm ashamed of us. Remember back in IO days when somebody did a show, improv show, and made fun of sci-ties, and then went to make an appointment with their hairstylist, and she was like, "You're not my customer anymore. A friend of mine happened to be at an improv show, and you talked bad about sci-tie, and that's my faith, and goodbye." That's why we're scared of it.
Oh, I do not know this.
Yes, ma'am. At
Oh,
iOS.
shiznit.
At iOS, that
Yeah.
happened. They're not quite as powerful right now as they once were, but
Yeah. It's not
anyway,
being cowardly, but also Dana and I are not, even when we're so angry about something, we are not like, we're going to take this person
call it out.
down.
Yeah, no.
I
I
mean, I'm
mean,
sure there would be an
mentally,
exception, but I think I didn't even reveal places that probably should have been. Same with you. I don't
yeah,
know. We're just trying to
whatever.
be respectful and rant it out to the ethers. And by ethers, I mean y'all, our
Yeah,
listeners.
exactly. The only people I call out are people that,
Why
well,
am I
honestly,
yelling?
I don't know. I call you out,
As you should.
and I call out Kate because she doesn't listen all the way through, so she'll never know.
Yep. Hilarious.
You know, she never heard us talk
I
about her
know.
the last
I
time
know. I
because
was
she
thinking
never said
about
a
that.
word to me. Nobody even knows who she is. There's
So
this young,
funny.
beautiful, lovely lady that's a friend of ours that doesn't listen, that only listens to the funny parts of our show.
Her exact words. She goes, oh, when you, by the time you get to that cleansing breath, I've already turned it
I'm
off.
done. I'm like, you don't even hang around for the corners. Those are my favorite. They're not my favorite. The raves are my favorite, but the corners make me laugh.
It's
Anyway,
hilarious.
don't be saying to people, I can't believe
No.
you're hungry. Because you know what? If you say that to me, then I can't believe you're going to live
Oh.
because I will take you out.
Oh my goodness
Oh,
gracious. Give us a cleansing
we
breath. You
need a
just did a
cleansing breath.
stretch.
I did a stretch. I'm
let's,
ready.
let's incorporate a stretch, y'all.
I apologize. I've already done 5 cleansing breaths since the show started. We like to do a cleansing breath. We just, we rant out all the stupid little things that aggravate us. We do a cleansing breath to calm ourselves and we fill up with goodness. So if you want to scream it out, go ahead. If you want to moan it out, I want to add something new this week. I just think a nice big, like, deep breath in and then a like a moan it out would be Listen, your prerogative. You do what you want. All right, ready? Let's take a deep breath in. And
What if somebody turned on this show or like stopped it at this exact point, and then like their husband takes their car because they're blocking them in to run to the store to get milk, and they turn on the radio and it's
Yeah, and then the husband get back in the car. Honey, what have you been listening to? Are you listening to audio porn?
oh my god, audio porn.
Do you want to cheat on me?
That woman who crunches her pickles as audio porn, her ASMR.
I don't like any mouth ASMR. I don't
Thank you. It makes
like
me
it.
sick.
Unless it's a small furry animal chewing a crunchy vegetable, I don't want it.
But also, I just need to see the video that accompanies that. Otherwise, what's the point, right?
No,
I don't
I've
need to
watched.
hear a woodchuck doing that in the background if I can't see it.
I like that, but I think it's because I had a small animal that crunched on vegetables, so it like
Well,
triggers memory for me. My little
that was
sugar glider.
also the cutest thing still that I've ever seen in my life.
So
that a
I
friend has
definitely
owned.
enjoy it. Yes, I do enjoy it. I also love when a porcupine gets some pumpkin and they can't handle
Oh,
it, and they go.
they literally do.
They can't help but talk about it while they chew. This is such a good pumpkin. It tastes so yummy. It's so juicy and sweet, and I love the seeds too. Thank you.
Oh my god, I want you to voice a pumpkin. I want you to voice a porcupine. Oh, they really are the
I have been a
cutest.
very good boy. Thank you for this food. It's yummy, and I am crunching it, and you can hear it, and I can hear it, and it gives me nutrients. Yum.
If anyone is like, what is happening now? If you're already been a listener, you're not like, what is happening? You're laughing your ass off right now because you know what's happening with Dana and you can picture her face. But if you're new to this or not, you may not even know of this creature. I demand that you Google Teddy the porcupine because
It's
he's
so
the
cute.
jolliest, cutest, smiliest,
So
laughingest,
cute.
pumpkin eatingest porcupine you've ever seen.
Then he
Teddy
can't
the
stop talking
porcupine.
about it.
No.
He can't. He has to tell you how delicious it is while he chews.
I love him.
It's so cute. Also, if you're just tuning in and you don't understand Dana, just imagine if you had to be married to her. You know, my husband and my son are in the other room going, "Oh God, is she going to shut up soon?" I'll tell you what, guys, I've really gotten into polymer clay. I know.
Oh, yes.
Super cool cat. I get it. Send me to Studio 54.
You know what? You could with those half moon earrings if you turn those into like 6-inch long dangles.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
I've really been getting into polymer clay, and I will tell you, it silences me. So I feel like this is a hobby that my husband's really going to get behind.
He's like, oh, I bought you some more clay.
He's like, here's clay. Here's 50 pounds of clay. And then
I got you a kiln.
He told me yesterday he would buy me a kiln if I did a sexual favor for him.
Amazing.
He will murder me if he knows I said that.
I love it.
I was like, for real? Worth it.
Okay.
But honestly, I think it's because it keeps me quiet. He's like, we have finally found the adult pacifier. It's polymer clay.
Oh my god.
I don't know what my point was. Should we go into the
Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. Oh, Lordy. Okay. This is a Kids Are Amazing corner.
I love it.
I believe the children are our future.
Teach them well and
Let them lead the way.
How many times have we sang that song for this corner?
Probably 3, because I think we've only done this corner like 3 times.
Great. Then that means we have 97 more permissions.
Absolutely. No, it's been a while since the Kids Are Amazing corner, though. And this is someone who I already had followed on Instagram, and both of her daughters are so cute. And this is the actress Busy Phillips.
Oh my God. My friend Kira is obsessed with Busy Phillips in our show.
Well, and she probably loves all of her clothing because she is an amazing she has amazing style. Like she wears really funky
Yes.
patterns and
I
lots of.
have been in love with Busy Phillips since Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, I've still never seen that
Oh, shame on
show.
you.
I know.
I
I
love it.
know.
But also, I got to do a show with her one time.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, she was neighbors with Rob Reines and she did Celebrity because she's friends with
Ah,
Gaddis and
yes,
all those people.
yes.
Yeah, she was really cool.
She seems like someone who's cool. Again, she's like
Funny.
someone that I've never met, but I'm like, she seems like my kind of people. And
Yeah.
yes. So her older child's name is Birdie, who is
I
12 and a
love
half.
it. So
Oh,
cute.
God. Yes. So, so cute. This is by Benjamin Van Hoos. Busy Phillips also shares the incredible way Birdie gave back to the LGBTQ youth community in Los Angeles. Busy is acknowledging her child's generosity this Pride Month. On Tuesday, the Girls 5 Eva, that's what I want to see so bad. The
I
Girls
have
5 Eva star.
that TV show.
Yeah, it's on Peacock and I don't get that.
I know I auditioned for it, so I probably won't ever watch it.
Aww.
I'm just kidding. I probably will watch it.
Busy 41 shared a series of photos featuring 12 and a half-year-old Birdie Lee as the mom highlighted a charitable initiative Birdie spearheaded on their own, supporting the Los Angeles LGBTQ Center. Today is the start of Pride Month. I have so much pride for this kid and everything they are and do, writes Phillips. The t-shirt I'm wearing is by the Haas Brothers, Haas Brothers, and at Citizens of Humanity in honor of Pride 2021, and 100% of the retail selling price of every t-shirt sold will be donated to LA's LGBTQIA+ Center. The LA LGBT Center has been incredibly helpful to my family in the last several years, offering support and education and a sense of community. One incredible thing Birdie did last year that I would like to brag about right now, the proud mom continues, is that after seeing all of the beauty products that I was sent by brands that were unused or given away, Birdie decided to start gathering the unopened makeup and hygiene items from me and other influencer types, actors, singers, makeup and hair artists, to donate to the LA LGBT Center for Queer and Trans Youth that the center provides a safe space for. Well, thanks to many of my friends, Birdie was able to donate hundreds of items to the center.
Wow.
Happy Pride, my loves, concludes Phillips, who also shares daughter Cricket Pearl with her husband, Mark Silverstein. Sorry, I thought
I'm
that was...
looking at these. They're those big plastic canisters that we all keep things in, like storage,
Yes.
filled with brand new makeup, hair products. I mean, that's cool.
Yes.
Because those people they get so much of that stuff that they can't possibly use all of it.
They can't. One of my old clients in interior design from several years ago is a huge influencer, and she owns like a huge media conglomerate, if you will, online. What is wrong with me? Online, and has all these different licenses. So she would get makeup like you would not believe. And she once gave me an entire, and it was like a special edition. I love Laura Mercier. Somebody used that makeup on me in Mississippi for my friend's wedding once. To this day, best makeup artist I've ever had. And it was all Laura Mercier products, which I had never had or used. So my client gave me like this small like trunk with 20 different full-size Laura Mercier products in like honor of their 20th anniversary or something.
Oh my God.
I was in heaven.
Yes.
She was literally like had a lawn-sized garbage bag. She's like, you can take anything you want. And I didn't want to be greedy, but I'm like,
I
I'll
would have
take
just
this
taken the
Laura
bag.
Mercier. Trust me. But I was like, I'll take this kit. Because it was like everything, a powder, a foundation, a mascara, lipstick, blah, blah, blah. So
sometimes at the end of a show season, the makeup artists have received a lot of free stuff and everything. And they'll give you, or if my husband's on a show, they'll go through and say, hey, do you want to pick any of this out for your wife? Now, this year, do you know what my husband, my sweet, sweet husband brought home for me?
What?
Plants.
Ooh.
Can you believe that? A pot
and
plants. Like 3 different plants for
perfect.
Actually, there was one pack of 4 plants, but they were separate plants. And then a pot of bushy plants, and then a big succulent that's outside of my front yard. I mean,
That
I was
is
in heaven.
awesome. Heck
Mhm.
yeah.
So when you work where people need that stuff and then
Mhm.
they just don't, like that's their job. It's not like they're being wasteful. People are
Right.
advertising to them. People are
They
trying
didn't
to
ask
sell.
for it.
They didn't
It's
ask for it.
delivered in droves.
Exactly. Or on a show, they need it for their sets. They need for that. Well, they can't keep it. Where are they
Yes.
going to keep them when the show's on hiatus?
Correct.
Those sound stages and everything are being used for other things.
Yeah.
So it's like they have to either give it away, get rid of it, or whatever. And
Yeah.
what a wonderful way for this
I
child
love
to
it.
see a need, see excess, and go, how
Yep.
can we get these together? I think it's
Totally.
beautiful. I think
It's
it's really
great.
beautiful.
And I love that they got other people on board with it too, right? Like it would be cool
Absolutely.
for her to just tell her own mom, like, you should
Correct.
give these away, but then
But
they
she was
incorporated
like,
others.
yeah, she was like, "No, you know other people that it's the same.
Yep.
Let's all get together and do some good."
Totally.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Me
Love
too.
it, Birdie. Thank you.
She's so
Also, what a
cute.
cute. Her kids are adorable.
They're so cute.
Okay,
I
I
love it.
have a question. Is this just me, or do you think that Busy Phillips and Pink should be sisters?
100%.
Don't you think they look alike?
Yes, absolutely.
I find them to be beautiful, but
Same.
I also think that they have that slight look of like, "This girl could be mean to me, but I'd probably let her." Don't you think?
Oh my god, they have a little edge.
Yeah. I think they look like I used to have a little neighbor girl in my neighborhood that looked like them a lot,
Mhm.
that from what my baby brain tells me,
Right.
and she was kinda mean to me sometimes. Maybe that's why I have, like,
Oh.
but I still was like, "But there's no one else to play with." Anyway, moving on from my childhood trauma. I really love that. Did she say how other people can do it, or is she just kinda doing it on her own?
I don't think so, but I would imagine that you could contact, especially if you're in a big city. For a fact, I know that major
Yeah.
cities have centers like this, but
Especially if you're
yeah,
like a makeup artist and people are sending you things all the time, too much for you to get through, you know what I mean?
yep.
That's the thing too, these products only have a certain shelf life.
And
So,
unopened, obviously, for
right.
sanitation
Oh
reasons.
my
Like they're
god,
not looking for gently
absolutely.
used makeup. It's like,
No, they're not looking for your basket under the bathroom counter of the colors that didn't work.
right? But we've talked about this before. I think it was even a rave. I feel like it was specifically because of like someone that I grew up with, I saw was doing this. I'm like, cool, who works at a hospital. Anything that's unused, bag that up and see if women's shelter in your area, homeless shelters, any the centers, we've talked about these before, whether it's like the Ronald McDonald houses in your city or one of our listeners, Lennis, I'm embarrassed I don't remember the name, but there was a cancer center near
Yeah.
Duke, or that's part of
Yes.
Duke, where they were always
Yes.
looking for, you know, donations for things like toiletries and whatnot. Give that stuff to people who can use it. I will say hotels are kind of doing away with that, and I don't blame them. It's like, how many times were they refilling that stuff? A lot of people travel with their own stuff to begin with, but
Right.
hotels now are doing something more eco-friendly where they're adding like 3 bottles in a shower that get refilled with like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, right?
Mm, mm.
And there's not the little things anymore. So if you're like my father and you have 2 full drawers and you love hoarding hotel toiletries that you don't need, because my dad used to fly on a weekly basis for
Mhm.
business,
Yeah.
pack that up and donate it before it's 20 years old, like the stuff my dad had, which I'm like, no, don't even donate it, throw it out.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm not the girl that doesn't take home a good body lotion from a hotel.
Of course I do. Of course I do, but my dad will be like, call the front desk and be like, could I have 4 more bottles of each toiletry, please? I need them. He doesn't even go through one while he's there. And then I'm like, see him like a little mouse putting it in his suitcase
Yeah,
for his
yeah.
collection.
It's
Dad,
cold.
you know it's true. Okay.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
All right.
I don't travel enough to have a collection.
Me neither. But some,
All right.
okay. There is a hotel that uses Bumble and Bumble products, and that makes me
Oh,
really happy. That's like a fancy, nice shampoo.
I
And
do like that.
I have been known to ask for extra if I stay there.
Yeah, well, I asked for extra at the Dana in Dana Point because all of
Yes,
their stuff
of
says
course. Of course. Why
Dana. So
wouldn't you?
I loved being in Dana Point. I was like, it's me everywhere.
Yes. And it's so beautiful.
Beautiful. Yes, it's gorgeous. All right. Well, I'm going to get us off track. We were just talking about beautiful things. I have an excuse me corner. You okay, Jessica?
I'm already holding my mouth.
I sent this to Jessica. This is from a new place. We haven't. I don't know. Did I find this on Instagram? I don't know. But anyway, it's from 2Fab, and all it says, which I don't appreciate this, but it says by the 2Fab staff. Now, if I was part of the 2Fab staff, they better put my name on there. But anyway,
Okay.
that's all we got, guys. Here we go. Are you ready? Hold on. Woman gets deep fried towel instead of chicken at Jollibee. Is that how you say it?
Jollibee.
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 So he sent this. There's a picture. We'll post it. I sent this
We
to
said
Jessica.
the name, Sarah. We said the name, Jollibee. I am outing them. They're a national chain. This is as bad as when not Carl's Jr., Jack in the Box, that filthy place that I refused to eat at, killed 13 people with botulism and E. coli. And that's why I've never eaten there and I never will.
It's my son's favorite. That's all he asked for. Okay, here we go. I sent this to Jessica because I thought I remembered you talking about Jollibee, and I didn't. Jollibees. Okay, talk about a dry rub chicken. Oh boy.
No, I know who wrote it. David Moyer, moonlighting for 2Fab.
For 2Fab. A Jollibee, I can't say it. Customer has claimed she was served a deep fried towel instead of the chicken she ordered. Alik Perez shared her grotesque discovery in a disturbing Facebook post on Tuesday, which quickly went viral. We had Jollibee delivered via Grab. She wrote, ordered chicken for my son while I was trying to get him a bite. I found it super hard to even slice. Now, I'm looking at the picture and I don't know how she couldn't tell that wasn't actually chicken. But,
Also, why is it blue? Like it looks like there's some kind of biochemical reaction happening from a solvent and it's blue in the center.
I would not try to feed that to my child for sure. Tried opening it up with my hands, and to my surprise, a deep fried towel. That's a quote. Indeed, as the stomach churning video shows, the golden battered dish looked like an appetizing poultry dish until she started to pull it apart. So I guess the blue wasn't showing. It's clearly a soaked rag cloaked in breadcrumbs. This is really disturbing. This is a quote. How the hell do you even get the towel in the batter and even fry it? She wrote.
How dare you?
I really thought this post was complaining about weird stuff in their orders. We're all just made up, but now I know that it really happens. It's so disgusting. The only positive she took was she actually found the towel before eating it. Yeah. She said she dreaded to think of how many oblivious customers' chicken joys had been cooked alongside it. What are you talking about? What's a chicken joy?
Don't know.
It must be a specific dish. Some Jolololos fan needs to tell us what a chicken joy is.
Oh my God.
Having the same oil for how many hours after frying this fried towel? The essence of the towel contaminated the oil and batter from the supplier. So how many chicken joys are affected? We won't know.
Nope.
She posted her receipt for the order, which costs $9.70 US. So this happened in the Philippines, guys. The branch she ordered from.
Are you sure it happened in the Philippines? It's a Filipino chain, meaning it's Filipino fast food. Oh, it really was in the Philippines?
Yeah, the branch she ordered from was in Bonifacio Global City, a financial center in the Philippines.
All right.
Oh
So the
my
one
God,
in
the fact
Hollywood, I guess, is okay.
there's a Hollywood one?
There's a
That
Jollibee, like, actually, it's like in between Hollywood and Koreatown.
I don't like that it's called Jollibee and it's a chicken place.
It has a
It should
little bee, like a
Yeah,
happy
why?
flying bee. He's
Why?
a jolly bee.
Why is he jolly about feeding people chickens he murdered? I don't like it. In a statement, oh, there's 1,300 branches all over the world.
Yes.
33 are in the US. The company said it closed down that location for 3 days, so all's good. I added
3
the all
days.
I
Burn
added
it
the
to the
all
ground.
I added the all's good part. They just said that they had closed for 3 days. I
You
wanna
are
skip
hilarious.
It's unfortunate that deviations from Jollibee's standard food preparation procedures occurred on part of the certain personnel of the store.
Oh, dear God.
Unfortunate! They're like, "Oopsie!
Oh,
That
dear God.
that person did something wrong, but not our company. Oops, buzz buzz." Oh, as a result of the incidents, we've directed that specific Jollibee to stop over branch, closed for 3 days. I don't understand. Uh, oh, here we go. This will make you all feel better. Starting on June 3rd, they are thoroughly started reviewing their compliance with procedures and to retrain the store team to ensure this won't happen again. So, that's good. That's it.
Unacceptable.
Now,
Unacceptable.
I will say, I would much rather have a deep fried towel than an entire chicken head, which we've seen before.
Yeah, I can't tolerate any of it. And I understand that mistakes happen. Well, that only goes so far as I'm concerned in life. Yes, mistakes happen. Some mistakes should never happen and are entirely inexcusable.
Well, and
I had part of a steel wool scrubber in
no.
my sandwich from a place that I frequented, no exaggeration, 3 to 4 times a week at one point in my life. It was a
Mm,
local sandwich and salad shop.
no.
And I called the owner, and I'm sorry, no, I don't expect her to, like, I did kind of expect her to be horrified and at the very least be like, your next meal's on me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Um, Laughing about something, I don't think it's funny. Like, how did, and it wasn't like a piece of it, it was a huge part of like steel wool or something that had broken up into the meatloaf. I was having a meatloaf
No.
sandwich
What?
and I bit in and like the texture, and I'm like, what the F is in this sandwich? I flipped out.
I would too.
So when people are like nonchalant, I ranted once. We both freaked. You offered
Yes,
to post it the hell out
the
of the front
paper on
door.
your pizza.
The paper where they said it's just paper, peel it off. It's just a broken
No.
cork. Pick it out. No.
No.
How
Uh-uh.
about you
You
never have
know
my business again?
Totally. You know what petrifies me, Jessica? The fact that this has happened to you several times and it's never happened to me, which makes me think I just eat it. I just don't pay attention.
You're like,
I
wow,
have
these almonds are much bigger. They're
Yeah,
cockroaches.
totally. I'm like, this salad tastes like dirty diaper, but it's probably just quinoa.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, dear Lord, protect us from fried towels.
So horrifying and disgusting.
Well, let's get into something a little nicer. How
Oh,
about that?
yes. Well, just in time. It's laughter for a change. No, really. That's the rave.
Oh,
www.laughterforachange.org. Laughter is powerful. Laughter heals. Laughter builds community. At Laughter for a Change, or L4C, we bring together laughter and comedy into communities when a good laugh is in short supply. L4C is a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization. We partner with other nonprofits and community groups to share the joys and benefits of improvisational theater. Learn more about our current partnerships here.
mhm.
That's a link through their website.
See it? No, but we'll post that in our notes and
We
stuff.
will. Our programs, based in improvisational theater, encourage participants to play and share themselves in a way that builds self confidence and creates meaningful connections. Our approach, improvisational comedy, because the improv experience is powerful because it challenges the participant to take a risk.
Mhm.
Improv players,
Sorry, I just wanted to
no.
say, I know if you're afraid of like improv and comedy and feeling stupid, it's actually a really, really excellent tool if you have to speak at work, do
Yes,
any kind of things like that or speak in front of people and you're uncomfortable. Like this just also going
for
back to
sure.
the going back to the doctor thing, I know
Hmm.
this sounds insane, but like one time I was able to have a difficult conversation with someone
Hmm.
because I acted it out in a scene, in an improv scene, which of course was heightened and
That's
silly.
great.
But it sort of gave me like this confidence of like, oh, I did this
Yes.
before and I can get through it. I know that sounds insane, but there is
No.
something said for that. So please continue on because I love this rave. But also, if you think that you're too scared or can't handle something like that, I'm telling you,
Yes.
it's probably a way better therapy tool. Like for me and Jessica, it's a job tool. But for other people, I think it's a great therapy tool and practice
Yes.
tool, to be honest. So I'm
It
sorry I
is.
interrupted, but
That's okay. And I'm sure you did when you went through classes back in the day, as did I. There was a lot of people in there that were not actors,
not at all.
or they wanted to act as a hobby, right?
Right.
Like, seriously,
Not their
people who
career.
are like, oh, once in a while I'll get up and do an improv show, whatever. We had a lot of writers who
All the
sometimes they were
writers.
great. And I'm like, why are you quitting the team? Or why are you leaving improv? They're like, because I'm not an actor.
I'm
I
not
never
an
wanted
actor.
to be an
Yeah.
actor. I did this
I
for
had for
writing
fun
and to help me
or to
generate
help get out of my
ideas.
head. Yes, totally. I had a lot of media people in my class, like some
Yes,
commercial copywriters and things like that.
totally.
It's a great, great tool for just
And it gets you
exploring
out of your
your own
head.
self. Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of corporate improv. So, also, if
Mhm.
you work at a company that's looking for something fun for things like that, reach out to Dana and I because we both know a lot
If
of
you can
people
hire us,
that do
because
that.
we both need
Yes.
jobs.
We'll come improvise with your company.
That's
Oh my
right. Just
gosh.
fly me there. I'll get you some fun games. Big Booty's one of my favorites. Big booty, big booty, big booty.
Booty. Big booty number 4.
Oh, yeah. We're going to big booty count our way to success.
Oh my god, that was Pete Gardner from My Secret Ex-Girlfriend and many
He was my,
commercials and other
yeah,
projects. He was my level 1 teacher, best
same,
teacher I've ever had for
same,
anything.
same.
Ah,
And I had weird sex dreams about him.
oh boy.
You can't control that.
And I can see that. No, I loved him because he
I wasn't attracted to him, but I did have weird sex dreams. I think it was more of a stress thing, but still.
oh my god.
Um, I hope he doesn't listen to this.
Oh
I'm sure he doesn't.
my
I still
god.
see him in the world, quite a bit.
Yes.
He's a doll.
Ah, I just love him.
All right.
Okay.
I totally got you off track, and I don't want to because I love this.
Hilarious. Improv players are typically asked to begin a spontaneous scene with a little more than a suggestion from the audience. Once workshop participants learn the basic techniques, they quickly overcome their fears and stage fright to create enriching stories and comedy. The process is transformative, revealing to the players the richness of their imaginations and the power of their creative gifts. At
Mhm.
L4C, we foster a safe environment for creativity and imagination to thrive. Our approach to mentoring is honest and playful, with a serious respect for the craft or improvisational theater. They have so many, so there's a link to their community initiatives.
Mhm.
So they are outside of LA, but like I love this. For instance, um, L4C at CHLA, that's the Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
Mhm.
So teams of Laughter for a Change improvisers perform improv games for patients, their parents, and staff at Children's Hospital Los Angeles.
I've done
These
that before.
you have?
I did it through Art of Elysium.
Oh
Mhm. Yeah, Rob
yeah.
Reines did some stuff, and it's for the entire family. Some of the
It's
parents were just like,
great.
"Thank you for bringing us just a little bit of smiles today." Like, yeah,
Anything other than a sad normal day in and day out.
totally.
Um Fist Bump, the anti-bullying improv show, seniors at New Open World Academy and the Robert F. Kennedy Community Schools create and perform improv sketches and engage middle schoolers in theater games to open dialogue about bullying in school.
Love it.
There's so many, you guys. The Koreatown Youth and Community Center, like these are all ones within LA. So there's just so many things that they do, and they're working with so many incredible other organizations to bring this in. So it's a wonderful cause. Please check it out. And again, as always, there's usually opportunities to volunteer, to get involved, to donate, a million ways that you can be a part of something like this. And
Absolutely.
consider taking a class yourself.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank
Yes,
you for sharing,
of
Jessica.
course.
All right. I will move on to my rave today. My rave is called Camp Corral. You can find them at www.campcorral.org. They are transforming the lives of children of wounded warriors. I really love this. Camp
Hmm.
Corral is a national nonprofit organization whose mission is to transform the lives of children of this nation's wounded, ill, and fallen military heroes. Since its inception in 2011, Camp Corral has served nearly 29,000 children from every state in the nation. I love that,
Amazing.
with resilience based programs focused upon the very unique attributes and challenges shared by military connected children across the country. I love that because I was not
Yep.
in a military family, not growing up. My father was in the military, but not while I was
Hmm.
growing up. And I've known several people who did grow up in military families. They move like the set of
Yes,
circumstances that they are asked to live with and that their families are asked to live with is completely different than anything I have ever
totally.
experienced. I cannot empathize with that. I cannot understand it. So I think it's really cool that they have something like this where children who have experienced the same things can get together.
Yep.
So it's really cool. Anyway, in keeping with a vision to empower military children to live their best lives possible, the Camp Corral team develops and delivers specialized programming created to meet the needs of these children and their families, along with fun traditional summer camp programs designed to provide respite, build peer support, connections, strengthen self confidence, and reinforce coping skills, which I imagine they need a lot of.
Right.
Oi, oi, oi. Um, Camp Corral offers family camp retreats, virtual therapeutic art programs, peer connection activities, as well as holistic supportive services. That is a wide array
Yes.
of help and services
Yep.
that sound pretty amazing. Camp Corral is a national leader and provider of educational resources, research, and advocacy related to the mental health concerns and very real hardships faced by children of wounded, ill, and fallen military service members, many of whom provide caregiving duties within the Wounded Warrior Family Unit.
Hmm.
That's something we don't think about as
Yep.
much as we probably should either.
One, usually the older or oldest, if there's more than one child, yeah, they
Child,
become the caregiver to their
right?
sibling and to
And to a
one or
parent,
both guardians, parents, or
because
whoever
the
they're living
other
with.
Yep, because the other parent has to go out and make money. I mean, there's
Yep.
several situations that we just don't deal with
Right.
that these people often have to because of the sacrifice they made for us.
Yep.
Our programs provide meaningful opportunities for healing, growing, and re energizing a weary heart. For the
Hmm.
children who participate with Camp Corral, they experience adventure, test their limits, challenge their fears, celebrate their accomplishments, and make life affirming friendships that remind them they are not alone. I really love that.
Yes.
I can't speak to how hard it must be to be in a military family, but to me from the outside, it just seems scary.
Yes. Well,
There's there's
you did. I mean, your dad was, I consider military a first responder, even though that's probably, and please correct me, y'all, that's probably not the right term at all, but it's someone who's putting their life on the line. That's to me anyone that works in medicine, anyone that works in the military, anyone that works for fire or police. And your father was a career fireman.
he
He
was,
risked his life every day
yeah, that's
and
true.
I'm sure has suffered. Like, I mean, he's a very strong man and doing amazing with all the things he's had go on. But I bet lots of the aches and pains and more
Oh, for
minor
sure.
things, but from the a literal abuse that his body went through over the
Yeah,
years.
some of the health things that we've struggled with in the later years have been
Yes,
related to job, you know.
absolutely.
Yeah, but with military too, it's like I can't imagine anyone in
The
my family
moving.
moving every year or every other year or whatever. I can't imagine sending one of my family members off to another country for years at a time, like
Right?
all of it. I
Yep.
think this is so thoughtful and such an amazing, especially because I think we forget about the children and the families, the spouses
Yes. Yes.
a lot. So this is wonderful. Again, it's campcorral.org. Check them out, see where they have, you know, opportunities and stuff. And if you don't have anything near you, maybe this is your
Yeah.
contribution to your community. You know,
Yep.
get this started. I'm sure you can reach out to them, find out how to get some of these programs going in your area.
Yep.
So anyway, you know, I'm just going to read this quote because I think it speaks to what I just mentioned.
Hmm.
On their website, which is cool, check it out. They've got a lot of good facts on there talking about, you know, different things that military families go through and stuff. But this one quote really got me. Um, More than 50% of children say that no one understands what it's like to be part of a military family. And I believe that. I
Yep.
really do. Let's help them. Let's
Totally.
help them. So anyway, Camp Corral. I love it.
Such a great organization.
Yeah, so beautiful. Anyway, 10% of parents shared their child had participated in self-harm or had thoughts of suicide. We got to pay attention to our kids.
Yep.
And I know they don't always want to tell us things. So, we got to do whatever we can to help them, find them someone they're comfortable talking to even if
Yep.
it's not us and not take
Yep.
that personally.
100%.
So, anyway, Camp Corral. I love it. Yay, Jessica.
Dana,
I think that's our
I
show.
think it
Would
is.
you like to tell people how to get a hold of us?
Yes, please keep it coming because you guys, you're about to see one of the things that gets sent into us. Our amateur, she's not an amateur. She's
Lord,
our,
no.
what is the, I'm going to be bad and do my
Resident.
usual. Yes, our unofficial, only unofficial because,
We
hey,
wish she was our resident
I'd love to
artist.
offer her a job. Okay. Um,
Kidding.
Miss Jen Hall Hill, who
Uh-huh.
has been gracing us with her illustrations, sent another one into us this week, which we're going to proudly be.
I am obsessed.
We're going to be sharing it. Okay, you already saw Dana with her celery, and if you're like, "What's Dana with her celery?" then get on
It's on
Instagram
Instagram. Where can you do that?
at the Rants and Raves podcast. That's on both Instagram and Facebook. If you want to go to Twitter, that's at raves_the. You can email us directly at the Rants and Raves podcast at gmail.com or hit the contact button on the website www.therantsandravespodcast.com. She said it, I'll say it again. Rate, review, subscribe, please, and thank
Please
you.
and thank you. Yes.
Mhm.
Jessica, I enjoy
Dana.
you.
Oh, I enjoy you so much. Thank you for
Um,
my weekly laugh.
of course. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I start hauling out the microphone and
I
stuff,
know.
I
It's like,
usually look horrible and I'm like, why do I do this? And then as soon as we start talking, I just start laughing and
yes.
acting like a crazy person because it's fun. At the end of the show, we like to share what we've been watching, if there's anything new in our lives. I'm into polymer clay right now.
Yes.
I just
I'm
flit around from hobby to hobby. You know me.
I'm trying to acclimate to taking rage walk pictures without my mask, which is very scary because I've
Yeah.
admittedly gotten used to hiding behind that mask.
I know I don't like having mask off. I haven't really
Right?
I haven't really done it
Like,
except
of
at a
course we do, but we were in public so little that it's like, oh, it doesn't really matter what and especially if I put glasses on, my blue light filter, I don't even need them for reading, but I'm like, well, with these glasses, I look great. Nobody can see I'm not wearing makeup.
Yes, yes. No, you and I went to a gathering together last week with no mask.
Yes.
Would you believe that I just sauntered right up to that back gate and then all of a sudden went, "Oh my god, my mask." Like I was so ready to make an entrance and dance with my hard cider
Uh-huh.
that I forgot to grab my mask.
But it was very nice.
It was very
Oh
nice.
god, it really was.
I started doing Mare of Easttown because everybody said I had to.
I cannot believe that you didn't text me that.
Well, because I only got through episode 3.
And you're like, I'm not interested.
I'm not going to say I'm not interested, but I'm not obsessed. I think it got overhyped for me. Perhaps the proverbial SHIT, my son's in the room, hasn't hit the fan yet. And I'll get like, ugh. But my friend Jen told me she was really disappointed in the ending.
It's
Don't tell me anything.
I'm not going to just watch it. But now that you've seen 3 episodes, can you go back and watch that Kate McKinnon murder? The
Murder?
spoof?
Oh, okay.
The spoof on Mare of Easttown called Murder Durder. Durder meaning daughter. Murder Durder.
Okay. Her accent.
You'll cry. You'll cry.
Her accent bothers me, Jessica, and I love me a Kate Winslet.
I know. I really do love her. It'll grow on you.
No, ma'am, it won't. Because every time she goes, what for, mer, but, a bit,
Oh my God.
I go, ugh. I don't know why, because I love her.
Also, do you know who's on that show? I'm not giving anything away.
Evan Peters, he's from St. Louis. He's really cute. I've seen him in real life several times.
Is that her ex, Frank?
No, that's her. No, but he's adorable. No, Evan Peters.
Oh, Evan Peters from American Horror Story and Quicksilver from the X-Men, I believe, right? Yes, he's great in this. So actually keep watching. He's really good in it.
He's a fabulous actor.
He really is. Yeah. But Kira Sedgwick and Kevin Bacon's daughter is also in it.
I know. I met her in Mexico when I shot Narcos.
Oh, yeah.
I went out to dinner with her. That's right. Scoot and the other person I was working with, and she couldn't have been nicer.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's her character in that makes me sad.
I know. Well, keep watching.
She's lovely though.
Keep watching.
Also, I thought I was going to do like I always do and binge it. I'm sorry, but some content is not bingeable.
No, this is not a binging show. Yeah,
it's not a binger. No. Don't binge it.
Do not.
Anyway, I also like to bring a point to ponder. And Jessica, you have many wonderful. Jessica's going to go treat herself nice today, and I want to get her out of here. My weekly point to ponder, and I'm dead serious. I thought about this, and I want you guys to think about it, and I'd love for you to write in and talk to us about it. Mm-hmm. Jessica, shampoo.
Yes.
2 in 1. Yes or no? Yay or nay?
Am I allowed to answer, or is this a cliffhanger? The answer is no. It doesn't work. The conditioner does not work in the same way. It's not even comparable. I've tried it.
I'm going to be a no too, but guess who's not? My husband. So y'all think about that this week.
Totally different. He has short hair. I totally get it for guys.
Well, if you are doing that, you may not know it, but I would. You're walking around with greases in your hair. Sorry. Greasy hair. You are. That's all it does. Okay. Well, guess you don't have to ponder that. We told you. There we go. We'll be back next Tuesday. Sorry for the week off last week. We decided on the holiday. We wanted a holiday.
That's right. And we're allowed. We're our own bosses.
We talked to our bosses and they said yes. All right, Jessica, I love you to death.
I love you too. Have a fun rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.